Shall I proceed? All right. So, hello friends, myself Dr. Ritesh Upadhyay. Today, in this very session, I will try my level best to remove the dilemma, if any, in your mind with respect to whether to choose sociology optional or not, and what are the pros and cons of this very subject. Although in this very session, I will try not to discuss the syllabus actually, because literally the syllabus is not going to be discussed in this particular session. But yes, overall, I will certainly give you a glimpse about the nature of this subject and especially the scope of the subject. Because if I go through and make you written down the syllabus or prescribe the syllabus, that is not going to help you anymore. Rather, if I would prescribe that particular syllabus or describe that syllabus or analyze that syllabus in the way you can comprehend it, in the way you can understand the very nature of this subject, in the way you can, analyze the very scope of this very subject, I think that will be a fruitful session. All right. So, first of all, why me? All right. Why me? Why Dr. Ritesh Upadhyay? So, first of all, let me just tell you about myself. See, I have been, of course, teaching sociology optional since last more than 12 to 13 years continuously. And then I believe कि सोते सोते भी क्या कर सकते हैं, optional पढ़ा सकते हैं. That's my confidence actually. Now, of course, in 2005, long back, I completed my master's degree. And then also I am net qualified in sociology. That is not actually the specific criteria due to which a teacher should go for teaching sociology optional. Not at all, at least not in my viewpoint. I believe that I have not only taught the sociology optional, but I believe that I have lived, I have actually, I have gone through this very journey of preparation with the sociology optional. And when I finished my attempt in 2010, since very 2012 itself, when I started my teaching journey, I started with sociology optional. So I really cannot figure out any specific year or month when I did not teach sociology optional, especially before coming to this very center. So I am really glad that once again I am going to start sociology optional here at this center, and I am 100% sure that you guys are going to feel confident, you are going to feel empowered, you are going to feel more strengthened day by day. Each and every day when you finish your lecture, you will realize that you have gone upstairs at least by one step. That's my promises to you. See, I started my journey of sociology, especially when before 2013, when syllabus was not that much reformed, revised. During my stage of preparation, I can tell you there used to be 2 optionals in mains we have to choose, and 1 optional have to be chosen in the prelims itself. So why I'm telling you this? Because if someone has chosen his optional and given his exams in prelims especially, then I'm 100% sure that he is having a thorough knowledge about the specifications, factual knowledge, even the trivial issues, even the trivial factual things that must be certainly somewhere logged in his mind. That's how I had proceeded through sociology. So in my time, there used to be sociology optional in prelims also. So whether it is a minute detail or conceptual detail, of course, I have gone through in much wider aspect. And that was the journey when I told you when I started my journey of preparation. But right from the beginning of 2012 so far, as I can say, that is the journey of my teaching. Yes, I have been continuously going through the conceptual strands, done referring to the contemporary developments, plus analyzing the question papers, plus predicting the future questions which may be asked in the upcoming exams. So later on, through this very journey of this very session, I would certainly discuss it about. Anyways, now coming to the fact that yes, why you should rely upon me, why you should rely upon me. If you know me or if you do not know me, I can simply give you just one promise that if you go through and follow all the lectures, if you are regular, and number two, if you are able to comprehend my class notes, then I can promise you that there is no need to refer any particular book. I'm not saying that you are not going to refer any book. Certainly, I would prescribe so many books, more than 15 books. But one thing I would like to say you that no need to purchase them. No need to purchase them. And even if you purchase them and you go to refer it, I would suggest you do not refer any book at the cost of my class notes. I have gone through all the relevant books. I have picked up already the relevant topics, chapters, paragraphs from each and every book which I find relevant for your exam. So आपको इतनी मेहनत करने की जरूरत नहीं है. सब कुछ आप करोगे तो मैं क्या करूंगा? I have already gone through the things. So I give you just two challenges. Number one, be regular in the class, and number two, just दम हो तो मेरे class notes को पचा के दिखा दो. बाकी books I will prescribe you. You can purchase it, start what is called reading, but believe me, you can not comprehend even sometimes a single chapter from certain books like Yogendra Singh or A.M. Shah, M.N. Srinivas without the guidance of any expert. So that is the case with the sociology. Everyone thinks that anyone can go through with the theoretical strands, he can comprehend the things, but believe me, that is not just like cakewalk. That is not going to be a cakewalk. Once I teach you about the theoretical strands, once I teach you about the theoretical perspectives, then only I would suggest you to refer the books. Then you may certainly go through the books and then you will start comprehending the thing day by day. All right. Having said that, as I told you that why you should refer me. Okay. Now I am jumping to the next what is called portion of this very session, that why you should refer or why you should opt for the sociology optional. See, that is the actually question that's why you have gathered here, and that's what that's why you are referring this very video, whatever mode you have got connected with me, whether offline or online. I am 100% sure that you are not interested in me. I know you are not interested in me. Rather, you are quite interested in the fact that why you should opt sociology. All right. See, there are so many reasons. There are so many reasons. I can jot it down or I can make you written down. But there are few reasons which must be kept before you before making you to opt any particular optional subject. With respect to why you are going to opt sociology optional, the number one reason why you should opt sociology optional is that the very success rate in sociology optional in compared to any other optional happens to be quite better. Let me just tell you something. Let me just show you that why sociology optional. First of all, what I told you, take care about myself. All right, Dr. Ritesh Upadhyay, as I told you, long teaching experience or other things, blah, blah, blah. And then I told you that why you should opt me as your mentor. And now I'm going to talk about why you should opt sociology optional. The first and the foremost reason that I can cite before you happens to be number one, the very success rate in sociology optional. The very success rate in sociology optional. If you will refer to the UPSC website and there is a report which has been uploaded by the commission itself that tells us about the comparative analysis with respect to the success rate that has got, happened in the previous years across the optional subjects that have been prescribed in the syllabus by the UPSC. For example, with respect to geography, for example, in geography optional, the very success rate happens to be how much? 5.6%. The very success rate happens to be, as I told you, how much? 5.6%. The very public administration, it is around 6.2%. It is around 6.2%. All right. Now, if you will refer to the history as an optional, the success rate tells us about 7.7%. 7.7%. If you will refer the political science, as an optional, the success rate is going to be how much? It is going to be 6.1%. It is going to be 6.1%. Now, if you are going to opt sociology, look at here. Sociology optional, then the UPSC website says that the success rate is going to be how much? 9.1%. 9.1%. Look at the way. I am not saying that sociology is a guarantee of success. I never said, and I'm not going to, make you understand like that. No, but yes, look at the success rate. Even if there is a minute difference, that is certainly in the favor of sociology optional. There is no doubt about it. All right. Let me tell you just one more thing. There is one more optional. When I was looking at the that UPSC report, I found out about the one optional subject where the success rate was phenomenal. Let me tell you, which was that? That was Santhali. As a language, ठीक है? Santhali language as an optional. For this particular optional, the success rate was 100%. The success rate was 100%. So what do you think? Let's choose what? Sociology optional. All the students who had chosen what? Maaf kijiyega. All the students who had chosen what? Santhali language optional, they got selected. You must be thinking the fact. If there is 100% success rate, then go and jump in the well. But you forget to realize that how many candidates had opted this very Santhali language. Only one person. Yeah, only one candidate. So one selection out of one candidate. So you cannot, talk about the fact that 100% success rate is going to be a practical one. Not at all. So there is no point in saying that someone is going to opt Santhali or something like that, because it is only about if a particular subject, see students, if a particular subject is going to, fetch you the result something around, somewhere around 10%, then that is a phenomenal success rate. Then that is certainly a phenomenal success rate. So with respect to the portion of this very session, that why you should opt sociology optional, the first thing that I told you, that is the success rate. And believe me, do not follow the rat race. Do not follow this sheep race. जिधर सब लोग जा रहे हैं सब चलते चले रहे हैं, या फिर आप सोच लेते हो कि yes, that particular optional is trending. Believe me, if any optional is trending, समझ लो गया काम से. That is finished. ठीक है? UPSC will do everything to discourage that subject. So don't just, go on YouTube, go on here and there, and, getting about the trend. If you have to get the trend, you refer the UPSC website. So you need not to refer any fake trend. And even if, as I told you, that a particular subject is trending a lot, believe me and you think that we are smart enough. But UPSC is even more smarter than us. UPSC is also in the same market. It knows that, yes, what is trending at least in the minds of the teachers, and also in the minds of, specifically in the minds of the students. They are all the time going to make all the efforts to discourage that particular subject. तो ये मत सोचो कि टॉपर कहां से है, कितना कहां से है. Come on, man. ठीक है? Never, try to become Sachin Tendulkar. Never try to become Sachin Tendulkar. Just try to be a good cricketer. Always try to be a mediocre. Not in terms of, rank. I'm not talking about in terms of rank. But you cannot target that I'm going to be Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli. No. You can only target about being a good cricketer. There are miracles. There are miracles. This is miracle. This is miracle. Santhali language as an optional is a miracle. We cannot go for miracle. Come on, man. We cannot go for that. We can only go for a general trend. We cannot follow any exceptional trend. No. Exceptional trends cannot be said as trends actually. Okay? Trend is this, that these are, the optional where success rate is not bad. It is rather good or better with respect to any other optional, if it has to be compared with respect to the number of students going to choose it and how many students are going to transform that particular optional into their success rate. All right. Now, having said that, the next thing that I will figure it out, that why you should choose sociology optional is, the first thing was that success rate, especially, yes or no. The second thing is that it is all-time favorite. It has been all-time favorite. All-time favorite. Evergreen subject. Evergreen subject. No cooling off period. All right, no cooling off period. No off season. No off season. Take it. No off season. Least impact of dynamism. Least impact of dynamism. See, the very nature of the question paper, the general trend of the optional question papers had got changed. But if you will compare this very change with the other optional with respect to history, with respect to geography, with respect to anthropology, political science, psychology, what you will find that there is only negligible change with respect to the trend of the questions when you will compare it with the sociology. Okay? So least impact of dynamism or change in the trend of the questions in compare to, at least I'm talking about, I'm not saying that no change has got happened, but at least in compare to any other optional. In compare to, any other optional. Now, see, as I told you that it is all time, favorite or evergreen optional. Even in 2024 results, you can see, three candidates in the top 10 list. Yes or no? टॉप 10 लिस्ट में इस बार भी कितने कैंडिडेट्स हैं? 3 कैंडिडेट्स आपको क्या है देखने को मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है, यू कैन से द टॉपर इज फ्रॉम पॉलिटिकल साइंस, दिस साइंस, दैट साइंस. कम ऑन मैन. ठीक है, टॉपर इज टॉपर. डू नॉट फॉलो द एक्सेप्शंस. ठीक है, टॉपर तो एक ही सब्जेक्ट से हो सकता है ना यार, या तो सोशियोलॉजी से होगा, या तो क्या एंथ्रोपोलॉजी से होगा, या तो कहां से होगा, हिस्ट्री, ज्योग्राफी या फिर पॉलिटिकल साइंस से होगा. वो तो एक ही आदमी है, उसी को लेके चलोगे क्या? और अगर सब लोग लेके चलना चालू कर देंगे ना, देन यूपीएससी इज बिहाइंड यू. UPSC is certainly going to, mock you down in any way. All right. So there is nothing wrong in the data. Come on, man. Yes or no? There are 3, candidates in the top 10 list. What's wrong with that? An overall general trend, it is going to show you that yes, 9.1% success rate. That is quite phenomenal, much higher than any other subjects of humanities, most of the, prominent subjects of humanities that we have, looked upon on this very board. Yes or no? Now, see, one more reason that why you should choose sociology optional is its concise syllabus, compact syllabus, concise syllabus, compact syllabus. See, in compared to any other optional, there are optionals which may take 400 hours, 350 hours, 300 hours. See, sociology is going to be finished in how many hours? 250 hours. 250 hours में sociology आपकी क्या होने जा रही है? खत्म होने जा रही है. That is much what is called soothing data in compared to any other optional which may take 350 या फिर 400 घंटे जिसमें लग सकते हैं. Isn't it so? It is quite, significant, factor behind choosing any particular optional. All right. Now, having said that, the foremost thing is that there lies what? High overlapping in, between likho, between the paper 1 and paper 2. Between the paper 1 and paper 2, high overlapping. Okay. So, for example, the family marriage kinship you are going to refer in the first paper also, and family marriage kinship you are going to refer in the second paper also. For example, social stratification and social mobility you are going to refer in the first paper also. The caste system you are going to refer in the second paper also. If you are going to, for example, politics and society, refer in the first paper, you are also going to refer in the second paper also. If you are going to refer the economy and society in the first paper, you are also going to refer the, a vast portion of that is quite related with the topics like agricultural structure in India, all right, and many other prospects. So there is a large amount of overlapping in paper 1 and paper 2. Believe me, if you had covered the paper 1, paper 2 is certainly going to be a cakewalk. I am not saying that there are no separate thinkers in second paper. There are A.M. Shah, there are A.R. Desai, there are people like Memon Sriniwas, they are. But see, once you have gone through the conceptual framework of, for example, functionalist approach in a particular, in GS paper 1, then there is, no difficulty at all in comprehending the functional analysis या फिर functional approach given by M.N. Srinivas. For example, if you have gone through the Marxian approach of Karl Marx in paper 1, then there is no problem in comprehending the functional, the Marxian approach of A.R. Desai in paper 2. So there is huge amount of overlapping that you can figure it out in paper 1 and paper 2 with respect to syllabus if you will organize it. Later on, I will certainly, in the first class, I will certainly elaborate you in much, elaborated fashion with respect to overlapping, differences and so many other things. All right. Now, see, as I told you that there is a, limited syllabus. The concise syllabus, compact syllabus 250 hours में खत्म होने वाला है और आपने कहा there is high overlapping between paper 1 and paper 2. So आपने कहा कि आपके efforts are going to be saved in that fashion also. All right. Now, next thing, why you should, refer the sociology as an optional, because I think that with respect to any other subject, I find sociology more easy to comprehend. More easy to comprehend. Comprehend matlab understand. Understand. In compare to any other optional. Any other optional. More easy to comprehend. Why I am saying is so? Because see, if you will look at the nature of the subject, for example, if you refer to the syllabus, what you will get to know, as I told you, family, marriage and kinship, caste system, economy and society, politics and society, religion and society, social structure, social movement, social groups, community, association, institutions, all these, things are quite familiar to you all the time. When we refer to the paper 2, you will get and acknowledge all the social issues which are arising in your life, in all walks of life. If you will realize it, you will certainly find it out that whatever social issues you are referring in your all walks of life, they are actually going to be taught, or you are supposed to get acknowledged or to study in sociology optional. So there is nothing like E equals to MC square. There is nothing like parabola. There is nothing like, all the time referring to the thinkers or philosophers of ancient Greeks and Rome. No, not at all. Sociology is a common man. Sociology is a new subject, boss. Sociology is a new subject. Before 300 years, there was no sociology at all. So whatever thinkers and philosophers they have got born or contributed in sociology in last 300 years, they are in your syllabus. And not all the thinkers. Only 6 thinkers are prescribed in your GS, in your optional paper 1. Only 6 thinkers. I am not saying that there are no other thinkers. Obviously, there are so many thinkers. See, I can tell you, if somebody is saying that in optional, Phala optional is this particular optional, in this particular optional there is no, there are least number of thinkers, or no required, there are no, not enough thinkers, or something like that. Believe me, he is just, befooling you. He is just simply, I am saying he is befooling you. There is no such an optional where there are no thinkers. In compared to other optionals, I can tell you there are, not least amount of thinkers, but yes, they are highly manageable, man. 6 thinkers आपको elaborate fashion में पढ़ना है, बाकी कह लीजिए तो thinkers क्या है, हर topic में definitions, हर topic में कह लीजिए उनकी एक छोटी सी कह लीजिए कि approach, ठीक है? So there is no in-depth analysis of rest of the thinkers apart from these 6 thinkers prescribed in paper 1. Alright, so you can, understand each and everything written in the syllabus, at least in first glance, that yes, what I am going to, study in the sociology optional. So things are quite familiar to you. The whole syllabus is quite familiar to you, isn't it? At least if things are familiar, you can initiate. For the conceptual strands, for the theoretical strands, I am there. I am certainly going to help you out, isn't it? Now, see, in sociology optional, what I find actually, sociology optional gives you a kind of theoretical stamp. Sociology gives you what? A theoretical stamp. Theoretical stamp to your knowledge about society or your life. So whatever things you are referring or whatever you are realizing in your life, whatever issues you are facing in your life, You know them. And you are going to study those issues in sociology with a particular sociological approach, with a particular sociological perspective, with a particular sociological theory. That's it. So there is nothing like sociology के बारे में fearful होने की क्या जरूरत है यार? क्या पढ़ना, ये technical word, come on man, कुछ नहीं है यार. What I think man, that this is, dear, the most easiest subject, queen of all sciences, father of sociology, Auguste Comte, क्या बोलते हैं इसके बारे में? It is the queen of all sciences. कितना प्यारा सब्जेक्ट है यार. इससे डरने की जरूरत है? कोई कहता अरे ये टेक्निकल वर्ड आ जाएगा, ये थिंकर आ जाएगा. मुझे तो लगता है बाकी के ऑप्शनल में कह लो कि बहुत ढेर सारे थिंकर्स होते हैं, ठीक है, और जिनको इजी कॉम्प्रिहेंड करना आसान नहीं होता है, ठीक है. तो आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट इट इज गोइंग टू बी ए केक वॉक, बट इतना भी कह सकता हूं यार कि इन कंपेयर टू एनी अदर ऑप्शनल, दैट्स अ क्वाइट इजियर वन यार, ठीक है. और यूपीएससी के लिए प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो एंड इफ यू आर थिंकिंग दैट यस सब कुछ इतना आसान हो जाएगा, तो वो भी शायद आप गलत कह लीजिए कि आप सोच रहे हैं. ऑलराइट, सी many students approach me asking that, sir, I do not have any background, I am from science background, I am from humanities background, but I don't have any background of sociology. I am from, biotechnology field, I am BTech, this and that. There are so many number of students, but I can tell you, I can guarantee you this very fact, and that is going to be the foremost reason, one of the most important reason that why you should choose sociology is what? That you do not require any background, man. Any background. All right. You do not require any background of sociology at all. If you are having any other background, you are going to have or realize the same success rate, or even I think here sometimes even the higher success rate than the candidate who has got some background in sociology optional. All right. What I think. That's my own. So next thing that I'm going to tell you that why you should opt sociology optional is no background needed. No background means no background of sociology needed here. No background of sociology. No background of sociology needed in order to opt sociology optional. All right. See, I can give you, certain examples. There was a student with a maths background. I forgot the surname, but his name was Ashish, if I'm not wrong. Okay, his name was Ashish. See, he was having what? Maths background. Boss, he got 305 marks. He got 305 marks in socio optional. He got 305, ठीक है, 305 marks in sociology optional. All right. And there was in the same what is called year, there was a student, I think Pridarshini Bhattacharya or something. ठीक है, Pridarshini Bhattacharya or something. She got, and she what? Why I'm telling you? She was, a graduate of London School of Economics. She was a student of what? London School of Economics. From sociology subject. So there is no, see, I can say literally London School of Economics is the best institute of sociology in my knowledge. Best institute, not even Harvard, ठीक है, not even Harvard. See, she could manage to get only how many marks? 260 marks. Look at the trend. Look at the fact. Maths background is getting 305 marks in sociology, and a candidate with sociology background from the world's best Institute of Sociology, London School of Economics, Google कर लीजिएगा. All right, she is getting 260 marks. See, boss, UPSC has got nothing to do with your background. Whatever you are going to write in the examination hall, that is the clear manifestation of what you are. how you have, gone through your journey of preparation, how you have comprehended this particular subject, whether you are able to write down the things as per the requirement of the question or not. That is an art of writing answer. That is the art of managing a particular question. As a district collector also, you are going to manage the whole district. What is your knowledge? Go and become a professor. Do not, become a district collector or an IAS officer. If you want to become a civil services, if you want to go for civil services, become an IAS officer. Obvious सी बात है, आपको management आना चाहिए. You must be able to comprehend the demand of the question. Until unless you have not comprehended the demand of the questions, you know whatever, you write whatever, you are not going to get the desired marks. Getting marks or scoring marks in the academics while going through your BA, MA, whatever you did do from whatever university, global university or any university in India, that hardly matters. I can tell you, boss, there were two students, brother and sister. I forgot, the brother I think got somewhere around 16th or 18th rank, and the sister got somewhere around 50 to 60 के बीच में कोई उसकी रैंक आती है. Both the candidates had graduated from IGNOU. Both the candidates had graduated from IGNOU. Look at the fact. Both the students could not even manage to get admission in a particular, university like JNU, university like DU, university like this and that, or London School of Economics. You can see, they were just passed out from an open university like IGNOU. I'm not saying that IGNOU is bad. It's material, even you are going to refer it's a material throughout the journey of your preparation. I will tell you which chapters and which unit, which course, but I'm just telling you this in order to get you the fact that background is not going to matter at all. And I can tell you, the person who is going to have certain background in sociology, believe me, I find not that much satisfied with that candidate or with that student ever. So believe me, that is not going to, bother in any way in your success journey at all. All right. See, the next things, as I told you that your background is not going to matter. Believe me, what is going to matter is, what is going to matter? It is your interest. It is your interest in that subject, and plus guidance. If you have got these two aspects with any of the subject, then jump and go through that optional, no problem. If you have got interest in sociology and if you have got a proper guidance in sociology, then there must not be any second thought in your mind at all. There must not be any second thought. Getting my point or not? Friends, now, as I'm discussing that why you should choose sociology optional, as I already told you that the very trend has got changed in last few years, but I already told you that the optional subject which was the least affected from this very changes explored by the UPSC, sociology was the least affected out of the adventure done by UPSC. As I had mentioned, least dynamic subject, least dynamism is involved. People may say or criticize me, look at the second paper, there are, so many, what is called dynamism. Come on. If there is coming any sort of updation with respect to census data or National Family Health Survey data, won't you update it? You will obviously update it. If there is any particular, crime, or if is there any particular new issue with the women, you will not quote it or you will not study it. Obviously, you will study. If there is any particular issue with respect to any vulnerable section of the society, then whether you will not study it, you will obviously study it. But what is not going to change, I'm trying to say, is the approach. The approaches are highly limited to deal with any social issue in the society. That is not going to change. The aspects which are going to be analyzed, they might change, no problem. But the very approach to deal with that particular social issue is not going to change. That are highly limited in sociology. Anyways, see, the most important thing why you should choose sociology optional is, people say that if I will choose history, I can get this much of overlapping portion in Phala GS paper. If I choose geography, I will get this much of marks in GS paper 1, GS paper this and that. Isn't it? If I choose economics, I will be getting benefited in GS paper 3. But believe me, you don't know anything. If you are looking at the sociology in this way, then I can assure you that you don't know anything. Why I am saying is, because if you will compare any subject which I mentioned, whether it is political science, whether it is economics, whether it is history, whether it is geography, most of the questions which are going to be overlapped with the GS portion are going to be from sociology. I can give you proof. After all, this should be your own exercise to analyze that how sociology may contribute you in any other portion. That is your job, but I can show you. So next thing, that why you should opt sociology is the contribution of sociology. Contribution of sociology. Where it can contribute? It is contributing in GS paper 1. It is contributing in GS paper 2, it is contributing in GS paper 3, it is contributing in GS paper 4, it is contributing in your essay paper, and after all, I can assure you, it is also going to help you in your personality test, so-called interview. Stage 3 or your exam. GS paper 1, of course, Indian society. I will show you the example, don't worry. Indian society. And then in GS paper 2, of course, sociology is going to overlap with the social justice. GS paper 3, the issues like poverty, the issues like what? Agrarian structure. The issues like poverty and the topics like agrarian structure, they are directly correlated with the GS paper 3. Look at the GS paper 4. Role of values. Sociology से ज्यादा वैल्यू कौन तुमको पढ़ा देगा यार? No one. Role of values. And especially in GS paper 4, when you are going to attempt the case studies, the most comprehensive analysis about any social issue, if it can be given, then it can be 100% given by the sociology optional only. Because once you cover the syllabus, once you write down the answers, once you refer to the previous year question papers, once you start thinking about any social issue, with a sociological theoretical mindset, you start thinking in a very comprehensive manner. And that's what is demanded. That is what demanded while attempting, the questions of related to the case studies in ethics paper, in GS paper 4. Isn't it so? That all the perspective, why you are going to choose that particular course of action when you are attempting what? The any question or case study from GS paper 4, why you are going to choose a particular course of action, that should be based upon a thorough analysis. And all possible options must be not only written, but they should also be what? Evaluated. Pros and cons of each and every course of action must be written down. It should not be only just one way, approach to deal with any course of action when you are going to attempt the questions of ethics, especially the case studies. And when I told you essay, I will show you, don't worry, I will show you that hardly, I can say there was hardly any year when at least one question, one essay you did not get from sociology. I can assure you, look at the question paper of any previous year, you will find at least one essay paper from sociology. I will show you. And when I'm saying that sociology is certainly going to contribute in your personality test, why I'm saying is because whatever question is going to be asked, you know something about it. And that particular knowledge of your something about it, something about any particular question, issue which has been asked by the, board members, will be certainly, stamped, approved, supported, endorsed by a particular sociological theory, by a particular sociological approach, by a particular theoretical framework, by a particular theoretical strand. I can assure you. Isn't it? Now let me show you. नहीं तो आपको लगेगा अरे सर टीचर तो ऐसे ही बोले जा रहा है, इतना ये कॉमन वो कॉमन, तो फिर तो ऐसे तो सोशियोलॉजी से बेस्ट कुछ नहीं है. अरे सच में कुछ बेस्ट नहीं है, समझ में आया? टेक इट. बट ठीक है, बिफोर जंपिंग आई कैन नॉट फोर्स यू टू टेक सोशियोलॉजी, बट बिफोर जंपिंग just go through the synopsis, what I am trying to tell you about the sociology subject. All right, look at here. Here. See, this is the syllabus. I am not going to discuss the syllabus. I am not going to discuss the syllabus. Rather, look at here. This is the syllabus of paper 2. This is the syllabus of paper 2. And this is the syllabus of Indian society in GS paper 1. This is the syllabus of Indian society in GS paper 1. If you have gone through the syllabus of GS paper 1, in GS paper 1, what are asked? History, geography and Indian society. All right, history, geography and Indian society. Pakka na? Now, see how many marks are going to be fetched. Of course, you told me that yes, 250, no problem, isn't it? All right. So now out of, see, if you will look into the syllabus, if you have gone through ever, salient features of Indian society, diversity of India, role of women and women's organization, population and associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization, their problems and their remedies, effects of globalization on Indian society, social empowerment, all right, and then communism, regionalism, secularism, blah, blah, blah. All right, this is the syllabus of what? Indian society. All right, now you can see. See, out of 250 marks in GS paper 1, you think that the major portion belongs to history and geography. But believe me, friends, if you analyze the previous year papers, the very trend in 2024, 2025, 2023, 2022, 2021, believe me, you are going to be surprised. That I can assure you that compared to what? History and geography, more questions have been asked from Indian society. You go through history and geography and other subjects all 24/7, 365 days, but you give hardly what is called any attention to this very poor portion, Indian society ka portion, which is going to give you, even more marks than the history and geography. I can show you. Look, overlapping with GS, for example, in IAS mains. Here was what? Here was the syllabus of Indian society, GS paper 1. And here is what? Here is the overlapping with GS. I mean, for example, in IAS mains 2024 only. अरे छोड़ दो 2023 और 2022 का अगर पेपर देखोगे ना तो आंखें खुल जाएंगी यार. ये तो मैंने नहीं लिया वहां का एग्जाम्पल. इतना लंबा चौड़ा लेक्चर देने का कोई मतलब नहीं है अभी. This is only the orientation class. Look at here. Here it is the, Indian society. Indian society के questions from GS paper 1. Look at the way. How many marks are going to be fetched? 95 marks. 95 marks. Out of 250 marks in GS paper 1, 95 marks are going to be fetched by the Indian society. And all these, you must have gone through the, syllabus of the Indian society in the previous slide. All these things. Look at here. Look at here. Syllabus of Indian society in GS paper 1. All these things prescribed in this GS paper 1 are going to be studied. Each and every word, each and everything written here, you are going to study in Sociology Optional in a much broader way than it is required in GS paper 1. So this actually is going to be a cakewalk for you. This actually 95 marks in GS paper 1 is going to be like free. It is going to be just like free. मुफ्त में आपको क्या है ये नंबर मिल रहा है. Look at, आप कहोगे कि सर कैसे फेंक रहे हैं? हाँ? I can tell you. Just look at here. Analyze. Question आपसे कह रहा है, क्या लिखा? Why do large cities tend to attract more migrants than smaller towns? Discuss in the light of conditions in developing countries. Look at here. Syllabus. Look at here. Population and associated issues. And then urbanization, their problems and their remedies. You will 100% study what? Migration related factors in that particular topic. And in much broader way in the sociology. Look at here. So, first proof, I told you that this particular question belongs to Indian society. Urbanization, their problems and their remedies, because it is talking about the migration. Why the larger cities are going to attract more people than the smaller city. Hey boss, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 cities, you are going to, study in much broader fashion in Sociology Optional. And you are also, even if you are not going to have Sociology Optional, you are supposed to, study all these things in Indian society, even if you opt any other thing. Isn't it? Now the second question. What is the concept of a demographic winter? Some people will be saying, "Arey, demographic winter, ये तो geography का question है जो अरे यार." This is not a geography question. What is demographic winter? Demographic winter is a trend in which a particular country is experiencing more growth in the old age population. It means if a country is going to be given the tag of country of old people, if the majority of the population is going to become older in the next few years, then that trend is actually going to be called as what? Demographic winter. There are so many countries, Germany, Japan, they are experiencing this very demographic winter. Alright, so this is particular what? A topic related with what? Population and associated issues, which is prescribed in your GS paper 1. And see, we have got a separate what is called topic in sociology related to the population dynamics. You are going to do a PhD in the population and dynamics topic in sociology. That will be just like a cakewalk. अरे बाप रे बाप, ये तो आगे इसको लूट लो. ये questions will be just like that. लूट लो. इधर देखिए. The third question is what? Distinguish between gender equality, gender equity. Come on, man. यही तो असली धंधा है किसका? Sociology का. Talking about women, talking about children, talking about elderly people, talking about disabled people, talking about all the vulnerable sections. That is certainly going to be covered in Sociology Optional, isn't it? तो आपको इसके लिए तो रोना ही नहीं है, तो कहोगे बात भाई ये तो सच में फ्री में है, ले लो. ये देखो फोर्थ क्वेश्चन क्या कह रहा है? इंटरकास्ट मैरिजेस, कोर सोशियोलॉजी. In dealing with socio-economic issues of development, what kind of collaboration between government and NGOs and private sector would be most productive? GS पेपर 1 में पूछा गया था. होना तो इसको कहां चाहिए था आपको? GS पेपर 2 में होना चाहिए था. कहां? स्पेशली इन गवर्नेंस. बट अगर GS पेपर 1 में है तो किसका क्वेश्चन है? इंडियन सोसाइटी का क्वेश्चन है. If it is, anyway linked with any particular, subject, then it is certainly going to be linked with what? Indian society, if it is asked in GS paper 1, and that is 100% asked in GS paper 1 itself. So this 10 marks is also going to be in the pocket of Indian society, and if it is going to be in Indian society, obviously it is going to be kept into the pocket of the sociology optional, isn't it so? Look at here. What is the regional disparity? How does it differ from diversity? How serious is the issue of regional disparity in India? There is no doubt about the fact that this belongs to what? Indian society, and obviously from sociology optional. Look at the question from globalization. You have got the, look at here, the syllabus. Effects of globalization on Indian society. So this very question is also directly related with Indian society, and ultimately from, I'm sorry, here it is, that got prompted. Ultimately from sociology optional. This 8th question, critically analyze the proposition that there is a high correlation between India's cultural diversity and the socio-economic marginalities. Core sociology question it is. So if you will count down all these questions, they are going to fetch you how many marks? They are going to fetch you 95 marks. They are going to fetch you 95 marks. I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to show you that how sociology optional is going to fetch you, questions also in GS paper 2. Let me show you. This is the syllabus of social justice GS paper 2. I have picked up. These 3 units are over there. All right, you can see here. These 3 units are there. Look, overlapping with, मैंने अभी example लिया हुआ है. For example, in IAS Mains 2024 itself, look at the question. Poverty and malnutrition create a vicious cycle adversely affecting human capital formation. What are steps? This is the core question of sociology. A kind of social issue. You studied in much detail in sociology optional. Look at here. In a crucial domain like the public healthcare system, the Indian state should play a vital role in to contain the adverse impact of marketization of the system. This very health as an issue is also going to be dealt with in much elaborated fashion in sociology optional. So how many marks? I can tell you, see. So total 120 marks in GS paper 1 and GS paper 2 को अगर मिला दें, यार ये तो कम है. मतलब ये तो मैं क्या ही बताऊं, ये तो सबसे कम है पिछले 5 सालों में. I can bet on the fact that if you refer 2020-23 क्वेश्चन पेपर, 2022 क्वेश्चन पेपर, 2021 क्वेश्चन पेपर, यार होश उड़ जाएंगे कि आप साल भर पढ़ते हो हिस्ट्री ज्योग्राफी और क्वेश्चन किससे पूछ लेता है? इंडियन सोसाइटी से. सबसे ज्यादा क्वेश्चन साल भर आप पढ़ते क्या है? पॉलिटी, बट अच्छे खासे क्वेश्चन कहां से पूछ रहा है? एम्प्लॉइड उसके अप्लाइड पार्ट से या फिर सोशल जस्टिस से. सो in terms of overlapping, you need not to worry. In terms of contribution of sociology in GS papers, you need not to worry. You are on the upper hand, man. You are on the upper edge. You are. And if you are not satisfied with that, I can tell you. Look at here. At least one essay every year or each year. In year 2024 itself, केवल 2024 का क्वेश्चन पेपर देख लेना. You may find 3 essays related to sociology optional. You will find 3 essays from sociology optional. Let me tell you. Number 1, कहता है the doubter is a true man of science. आपको लगेगा अरे बाप रे ये कैसे हो सकता है? क्या लिखा है? देखो जरा. The doubter is a true man of science. It means question क्या कह रहा है? The essay का topic क्या कह रहा है? If somebody is not a believer, if somebody is a seeker, then he is certainly having a scientific attitude. If you had believed that this exists, then you cannot be innovative at all. You are highly rigid. And if you are rigid, there's nothing like scientific iota in your mind. There is no rationality in your mind at all. Not at all. So science lies in your what? Possibilities. Rational mindset. Not believing, rather seeking something. Look at here. The doubter is a true man of science. I can bet you, sociology optionals के स्टूडेंट से अच्छा कोई इस ऑप्शनल को लिख नहीं सकता है. कोई इस माफ कीजिएगा इस ऐसे को अटेम्प्ट नहीं कर सकता. Why I'm saying is that because sociology has been the victim. Sociology has to prove all the time that it is a science, it is a science, it is a science.
in the initial 2 to 3 units of sociology for paper 1, you will be all the time defending your subject, that your subject sociology is not hawabaji. Your sociology subject is what? A science of society. I can show you the syllabus. Look at here. I can show you the syllabus. Look at the syllabus. Look at the syllabus. Here. Sociology, the discipline. Where it is? Sociology. Here, देखिए कहाँ गया? Here, sociology as a science. Sociology as a science. What science is? What science is? How a particular humanity subject can be called as science? What is so demanded in science? Why a particular, subject, why a particular thing, why a particular, approach can be said as a scientific approach, analytical approach. All those things you are going to acknowledge in that subject itself. You are. There is a, look at here. Sociology and common sense. Sociology and common sense. Sometimes people think that sociology is nothing but common sense. You have to defend your subject. You have to prove that you are, going through a particular science. Don't you think that you will be the best person to attempt this essay? Isn't it so? I believe 100% you are the best, what is called, candidate to attempt this question. The doubter is the true man of science. Isn't it? Next question. Next, essay topic. इसी साल का है 2024 का लेटेस्ट जो भी एग्जाम हुआ था. Look at here. Social media is triggering the fear of missing out amongst the youth, precipitating depression and loneliness. What is this? This is a social issue. This is a social issue that you are 100% going to discuss and get the thorough knowledge and reason, prospects, the trend of in future behind this particular issue in sociology optional. You are going to 101%. You are going to look at here. The third, what is called essay topic. All ideas having large consequences are always simple. All ideas having large consequences are always simple. अभी मैंने आपको बताया था. अभी मैंने आपको दिखाया था. There is a topic. What? There is a topic. Sociology and common sense. Sociology and common sense. In this very topic, you will get to know that how a common sense knowledge, if it is tried, if it is tested, if it is what is called proved with collection of data, analysis of data, followed by validity test, followed by reliability test, followed by theorization, then certainly that common sense may become a scientific concept one day. That was actually demanded in that essay. Yes or no? So what I'm trying to tell here, you here is that do not fear about the fact that what by undergoing this very sociology optional, what you are going to get in GS. अरे बल्ले बल्ले यार, essay देख रहे हो भर भर के. जीएस पेपर 1 पेपर 2 मिला के तुमको क्या है, किसी भी गए से गए गुजरे साल में भी मोर देन 125 नंबर से ज्यादा देके जा रहा है गरीब. बताओ, और सोच रहे हो ऑप्शनल क्या लेना है यार. इससे ज्यादा आसान ऑप्शनल कुछ हो सकता है? मुझे नहीं लगता भाई, मुझे नहीं लगता. बाकी आपके ऊपर है. एनीवेज, सी with respect to the fact that why you should choose sociology optional, one more thing I can say, that there is least impact of scaling. There is least impact of scaling. What is scaling? Even I don't know. Only God knows. Or even I think UPSC can also not explain. There are more than 10 formulas told by UPSC to the Supreme Court that how they go for applying scaling. Scaling matlab hai कि suppose you have taken maths optional, Mr. A has taken maths optional, and B has taken what? Hindi as an optional, C has taken what? Sociology as optional, D has taken political science as an optional. Obviously, if you go for a correct answer in case of maths, you are going to get what? 15 out of 15, 10 out of 15. But In sociology, you, I mean, give your best. You write the दुनिया जहान का सबसे बेस्ट आंसर लिख लो, कभी भी 10 में 6 से ज्यादा नहीं मिलने वाले हैं, ठीक है? देने वाले की लगता है जैसे जान चली जाएगी, 10 में 6 से ज्यादा दे दिया तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, जान ही है समझ लो उसकी, ठीक है? नॉट गोइंग टू गेट. तो हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू स्केल द सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक, the subjects of science, especially maths, physics, chemistry, or any other engineering subject, with the subjects of humanities. So for that purpose, they apply a particular formula, and they decrease the marks especially from the subjects of science, and add certain marks in the subjects belonging to humanities, just to provide an equal platform for all the subjects to flourish and to provide marks, so that candidates can be what is called have all possibilities or equal possibility of getting selected. All right. So I can tell you, sociology is the least affected by the scaling. That's why I tell you it is an evergreen optional. Evergreen, no cooling off period. All right. No off season, I told you. Friends, as I told you that it is considered as queen of all sciences. The father of sociology, Auguste Comte, himself said that it is the queen of all sciences. Why it is queen of all sciences? Because all the subjects you are going to study under the same umbrella. You are going to get the knowledge of political science also. You are also going to get the knowledge of economics also. You are also going to study what? Religious aspects. You are also going to study the primordial society. You are also going to study the contemporary society. You are going to study all the social issues. So this is whole encompassing optional in my particular viewpoint. See, there are certain myths also. For example, people think that there are so many technical terms. Oh my God. There are so many technical terms. यार मैं कह रहा हूं, ऑप्शनल की अपनी लैंग्वेज होती है. If a teacher is not actually using the terminology of that subject, that optional subject, he is going to do mockery with that subject. He is going to make fun of you. So in my view, technical terms, let them come. They are so easy. Why you were joining class of Ritesh? For that fact only, yaar. Come on. If there is some what is called technical term, I am here to explain you. And they are so limited, man. They are so limited in compared to any other optional. They are quite limited in nature. There is one more myth that people say, sir, my English is not that much good. यार हिंदी समझ लेते हो ना, इंग्लिश लिखना जानते हो ना, इंग्लिश लिखना जानते हो, हिंदी समझ लेते हो. कोई बोलता है तो आप क्या करते हैं, इंग्लिश समझ लेते हैं, ठीक है. एक अच्छा सा लेटर लिख सकते हो ना किसी को अपने घर में, इंग्लिश में अपनी बात को कह सकते हो, सिंपल एंड लूसिड स्टेटमेंट बना के इंग्लिश में. मोर देन एनफ यार, मोर देन एनफ. द टेक्निकल टर्म्स जर्नी में आएंगे, सीखेंगे, डे बाय डे वोकैबुलरी मेंटेन होगी, अच्छे वर्ड्स यूज करेंगे, फ्रेमिंग आंसर की करेंगे, अच्छा आंसर पेश करेंगे. व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विद दैट? बिहेव एज अ बिगिनर मैन, डू नॉट बिहेव एज अ फिनिशर. पहले दिन से महेंद्र सिंह धोनी बन जाओगे क्या? नॉट एट ऑल. पहले दिन से ये सोचो कि हम क्या है, एकदम बन जाएंगे क्या, वीरेंद्र सहवाग ये वो. नो, नथिंग लाइक दैट. आपको क्या करना है, आपको कोशिश ये करनी है कि जस्ट बी स्टार्ट प्लेइंग विद एज राहुल द्रविड़. ऑलराइट, देन लास्ट में देखा जाएगा कि धोनी बनना है या फिर क्या करना है, जो जैसी जरूरत पड़ेगी, ठीक है. नाउ हैविंग सेड दैट, सी देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल दैट दे से दैट देयर आर सो मेनी थिंकर्स, ठीक है. देयर आर सो मेनी थिंकर्स. एज आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट द लैंग्वेज फर्स्ट, ठीक है. लैंग्वेज. सो एज आई टोल्ड यू, simple and lucid statements are going to give you much better marks. But yes, there is a language of sociology, और वो सिखाना मेरा काम है, वो सिखाना मेरा काम है, डरना आपका काम नहीं है, वो सिखाना मेरा काम है। एक और मिथ है, देयर इज वन मोर मिथ दैट यस देयर आर सो मेनी थिंकर्स। आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू मैन, आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू। लोग कहते हैं कि देयर आर सो मेनी थिंकर्स, मैं कह रहा हूं देयर आर 6 प्राइम थिंकर्स, ठीक है, मेजर थिंकर्स, एंड देयर आर मोर देन आई वुड से अराउंड 5 thinkers in paper 2, ये पेपर 1 में, ठीक है, मिथ्स के नाम पे 6 prime thinkers in paper 1 and 5 thinkers in paper 2. बाकी whatever number of thinkers are there, they are subordinate. Rest of the thinkers are just notional, just to mention them, ठीक है, not in detail. There is no requirement to refer them in much detail, not at all. You are not supposed to do that. So there are so many myths, but believe me, if you are all the time referring to YouTube, your senior, junior, falana dhimaka failure or nothing here, once you decide an optional, jump and never stop till your goal is achieved. I have just repeated the Swami Vivekananda's line, and that is ultimately going to help you. That is the best approach, I can tell you. All right. See, apart from all these things, now I would also just like to mention that how to approach, at least at this point of time. I told you in the beginning of this very session about myself. In the second aspect, I told you that why me, why you should study from me, or why you should choose Ritesh as your mentor, sociology mentor. In the third aspect of this very session, I told you about why you should choose sociology optional. And now the second last thing, I'm going to briefly, just in 2 minutes, I can tell you about the approach, how to approach sociology. See boss, at this moment of time when you are not having any background, you have not gone through, much knowledge about the sociology, what I can tell you that, see, you should be, if you are, there are students who ask that, sir, whether I should join sociology optional at this very point of time, or I have to give, the attempt in 2027, 2028. One thing I can tell you, the foremost thing is complete your optional as soon as possible. Complete your optional as soon as possible. If you are coming to the classes and attending one GS class, only one class, then believe me, you are the one who must go through the optional subject along with your GS subject. But yes, if you are covering 2 GS subjects, you are spending 3 hours for one subject and 3 hours for the others, the next GS subject, then you do not have much time to attend the sociology classes. But definitely, if you are attending only one GS class, then 500% you should go for sociology optional. Never think that yes, that you are going to attempt, give your attempt 27, 28, not at all, man. Finish it as soon as possible. Thorough revision again and again, previous year question paper, test series, that will consolidate your effort. You have joined this very foundation course, you have joined, the very basic course, just for the fact that you will have enough time to revise it again and again and apply in this very classroom, believing the environment of the UPSC. All right. Now, see, as I told you in beginning, you have to start writing just like a layman. एक घटिया आंसर ही मैं हमेशा कहता हूं बच्चों को कि बेस्ट आंसर बनता है। 10 में से 1.5-2 नंबर वाला आंसर लिखो, 15 में से 3 नंबर वाला आंसर लिखो, वही यार 5, 6, 7 वाला भी हो जाता है। ठीक है। At this very stage, focus upon conceptual building. At this very stage, focus upon conceptual building. All right. I will give my best to make you understand all the theoretical strands in just like a cakewalk here. It's too easy. After building the conceptual framework, start framing the questions. Now, thereafter, you should attempt all the previous year question papers. And at last, you should refer, questions from each nook and corner from various test series prescribed by our institute also. See, I can just say you one thing, be focused. Once you have chosen the optional, give your best. Give your best. तुम्हें कोई रोक नहीं सकता यार. एंड सोशियोलॉजी, यार सोशियोलॉजी के बारे में क्या बोलूं यार, ऑल टाइम मैंने कहा यार एवरग्रीन सब्जेक्ट है बेचारा, इजी टू कॉम्प्रिहेंड है, इससे आसान क्या हो सकता है. ठीक है, और मैं इससे ज्यादा मैं क्या ही कहूं यार. और रही बात किताब, फॉर टाइम बिंग अभी मैं कहूंगा कि रेफर ओनली एनसीईआरटी. एनसीईआरटी विच वन? एनसीईआरटी ऑफ व्हाट? 11th क्लास. अभी आप 11th क्लास की आप नई वाली उठा लो, ओल्ड वन की छोड़ दो. ठीक है, 11th क्लास में आपको क्या मिल जाएंगी? 2 एनसीईआरटी मिल जाएंगी. एंड 12th क्लास की आपको क्या मिल जाएगी? 2 एनसीईआरटी मिल जाएगी. अरे तुम ये भी मत पढ़ो यार, यू कम टू द क्लास, यू कम टू द क्लास. ठीक है, I will tell you, from 0 to 100. I will take you from 0 to 100. I can guarantee. I can 100% guarantee you. See, I can recommend you that this paper, this question, I can recommend you Horlumbus, I can recommend you Mendelbaum, I can recommend you T.B. Bottomore, I can recommend you M.N. Srinivas, I can recommend you A.M. Shah, I can recommend you Yogen Singh. इनकी किताब पढ़ लो, उनकी किताब पढ़ लो. अरे तुम कुछ नहीं पढ़ पाओगे. दम नहीं है कि यार आप उसको पचा पाओ. बिलीव मी, in the initial phase of this very session I told you, never jump on any book at the cost of my class notes. मुझे पचा लो. 2 ही चैलेंज दिए थे. एक चैलेंज रेगुलर आके दिखा दो, और दूसरा चैलेंज क्या है कि मेरा क्लास नोट्स पचा के दिखा दो. After covering the class notes, then jump on any book, any notes. That is certainly going to fetch you better results. But not at the cost of my class notes. You will waste your time. You will definitely waste your time. That's why I told you what is required in choosing one optional. Number 1, interest, and number 2, guidance. Both are equally important. Both are equally important. On the part of interest, look at your syllabus. Look at the previous year question paper. If you are familiar with the topics prescribed in the syllabus by the UPSC, then that is the optional for you. And if you have got the right guidance, oh my God, like me, then obviously do not worry about it. कम से कम यार क्या ही पूछेगा यार सोशियोलॉजी में इतने साल से, 6-7 साल अपनी क्या कह लीजिए की तैयारी के टाइम पे, पढ़ाई के तैयारी, मास्टर्स मैंने किया, उसके बाद सोशियोलॉजी से मास्टर करने के बाद मैंने अपने अटेम्प्ट दिए, फिर उसके बाद कह लीजिए कि 12 साल 13 साल से कह लीजिए कि पढ़ाना, वो 20 साल का एक्सपीरियंस किस दिन काम आएगा यार. यूज मी नाउ. Max, I will suggest you, see, no need to refer, for time being, no need to refer any book. And at last of this session, see, I can say you that I cannot force you to join any particular subject, and I'm not supposed to. Friends, you may choose any optional, but I told you, trust, and then I can tell you your interest. Trust upon your guide, trust upon your mandate, trust upon your mentor, and then your interest. और रही बात, कुछ लोगों को ये लगता है कि सर हम खुद से भी पढ़ सकते हैं, खुद से पढ़ सकते हैं. प्लीज यार, गो एंड परचेज एन हॉर्लम्बस. 1000 पेज की किताब है, उसका कोई भी पेज, 5 पेज कोई भी पढ़ के दिखा देना, समझ के दिखा देना, मैं भी जान लूंगा, खुद से आप कर लोगे. और अगर कर भी लोगे ना, दैट विल टेक व्हाट इज कॉल्ड दिस वेरी, ये पंचवर्षीय योजना बन जाएगी, 5 year plan, दिस वेरी जर्नी ऑफ प्रिपरेशन. वी आर अ प्रोफेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट. आई एम टेकिंग मनी and putting all my experiences to consolidate, to channelize all your efforts to get the desired goal. That's what इसलिए आप हमारे पास आते हैं. ये बुक इन सब के जितने भी रेलेवेंट नॉलेज हम आपको प्रिस्क्राइब फॉर्म में आपको क्या दे दें, कॉन्साइज फॉर्म में हम आपको दें. that's why you come and join the classes. Now I can just make you especially confident that, believe me, I will all the time be available with you throughout the journey of your sociology optional till your success. Never feel any what is called hesitation in asking the question in the class. मेरी आदत ही नहीं है यार कि किसी क्वेश्चन को मैं कभी इग्नोर कर दूं. छोटे से छोटा क्वेश्चन हो, आई ट्राई माई बेस्ट टू गिव द आंसर. ठीक है,
So trust on me and just, join the optional fearlessly, and welcome to the Queen of Sciences, Queen of all the sciences. So that is the way I'm going to wrap up this very session. And at last, I can say that yes, all the best. So see you in the class. All right. Now, I'm going to wrap up the session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.